Hi, this is Kai, and this is another Transformer review, and today I got the Netflix series Soundwave. Now, I have been waiting for Soundwave for a long time. I literally have all the cassettes you can get for him. Like, I got the, what are they called? The core class? Yeah, the core class sets of the cassettes, so Ravage, Laserbeak, and Rumble with Rat Bad, and also I got the 4-set pack that had some of them as well. And of course, I just didn't have a Soundwave, so I just finally sucked it up and got a Soundwave because he's like my favorite Decepticon. But before we get into like actually looking in depth like with these characters, you see he comes with a Laserbeak and a Soundwave, which I will be doing a Laserbeak and a Ravage, not a Soundwave. I can't talk for nothing, can I? No. But basically it comes with a Laserbeak and a Ravage, and I will do a comparison on the Ravage that we get from Siege and the Laserbeak we get from Siege as well in this video. But he also comes with 2 blasters. He comes with the one that you can fold out and you can turn to a long rifle of sorts. There we go. You can turn to a long rifle of sorts and you can fold it up, and it comes with a double barrel gun. Then there's this one, which kind of looks like his shoulder-mounted gun, and this one can goes this way. This one can come out and turn into like a little more of a long-range gun right here. And of course, you got Soundwave himself. We could look a little bit at him. Of course, his shoulder rifle comes off, and you can replace it with this one, of course. Replace it with that one, of course. And there are going to be a little bit of inflections on mine, a little bit of mistakes, because I did buy, he's used, but he's not damaged at all. He's just a little dirty. I'd say I probably have to clean him up. But yeah, let's do the comparisons with Laserbeak and Ravage. So here we have a little bit of comparison here. So we have the Siege on this side, and we have the Netflix series on this side. Now, of course, just on the baseline, you can see that the Netflix is a lot more detailed and has a bit more color to them. Like if you look at Laserbeak, the Laserbeaks here, you can see that there's a lot more color on the Laserbeak that's from Netflix than the Laserbeak that's from Siege. And the detail itself isn't too much different, and of course on the back they're practically identical. But other than the feet are a little bit of a different color. Like the gray bits they use are like a tiny bit of a different color. But other than that, there's not really anything different with them. And the red's a little bit different on the wings. It's a little bit brighter on there, but maybe that's just the yellow and the light blue beam by it. And yeah, there's not, other than that, the transformations are exactly the same. There's a little bit of a silver trim right here, and there's a more silver trim on the inside of the wing than over here. And yeah, and if I were to say which one I like better, I do think I prefer the Netflix one, just because it has a little bit more color. But either way, they're practically the same toy, just different paints. But isn't that with all Transformers? But let's look at the Ravages here. So I do gotta say that the Ravage from the Netflix I like a lot better. Like this Ravage over here looks not plain, like it has detail on it, but it just looks a little bit more plain than the other one. Like this one looks like a cassette tape, you know, it has a little bit more details right there and right there. But of course, you have to remember that this one's going to look a little bit more Cybertronian, this one's going to look a bit more like a cassette, so you gotta remember that there's also differences there. But I do think I like the Netflix version better than the Siege version. But yeah. And so let's move on to Soundwave himself. So looking at Soundwave right here, from baseline, I really do like him. He looks really, really nice. Especially, I find it funny that it says play on his butt. I find that very funny. Because could be a lot of jokes being made by the fact that it says play on Soundwave's butt. But anyways, he of course, he looks like the G1 Soundwave pretty much, other than a little bit of differences. And also he has, I forget what it's called, but it's where they put a little bit of a transparent right there, so the eyes look like they're glowing, which I really do like, because I feel like, if you look right there, like, the eyes look like red. I believe Soundwave's eyes are always kind of glowing. They always have a glow to them. Like, you can even see the glow on the side of the gun right there, which I think looks really nice. And also, he has two different types of hands. It looks like, see, it looks like Soundwave is left-handed, because if you look, he has his trigger finger on his left hand. Just saying, left-handed people rise up. Soundwave's left-handed, but he does have his well, I guess it's meant to well, I guess when you look at it like that, he might not be left-handed, but of course, because his button's on that side, but you can kind of make him put. But anyway, of course, he has a little button right here, and you can put a cassette in there, just like that. Let's put Ravage right there, and you can just stick him in there, and then he has a cassette. He can only hold one cassette, sadly, but honestly, that looks really cool. And of course, you can just take it out like a regular cassette player. You just have to slide it out that way. And so yeah, let's look. He has a very nice silver finish to him, and of course, the back's a little bit plain, but it still has enough detail. It also says play on his butt. Never forget, it says play on his butt. But anyway, and he has I think those would be the volume buttons right there, wouldn't they? And of course, he has the regular buttons on the back, and he moves really well. Because he has a lot of range, other than the fact that his joint stops right there, he has a lot of range to him. Of course, his head moves really well, and he doesn't have double jointed knees, but he does have a swivel in his thigh, and I think, yep, and he does have wiggle in his ankles, and of course you can't move his fist side to side, but you can move them that way, and he does have a twist in his bicep as well. And he twists right there. Of course, his head works. And check the spread. He is very flexible. And that means he's very posable. His joints aren't super tight. I've been having that problem with my Transformers with their joints being super tight. Thank God that his joints aren't tight. This is the reason why Soundwave is one of the best. Because Soundwave is superior. Fight me. But let's get into everybody's alt mode. Because there's more than one, because cassettes are people too. So, fight me. So here we have all the cassettes all transformed. And let's do some comparisons right now. So let's start with the Ravages, since we started with Laserbeak last time. So first thing that I realized, that on the Siege Ravage, you can't see it too well. Let's see if we can get some focus. Oh, focus on, there we go. But as you can see right here, there's some purple on the Siege Ravage's back, right there, and on the, Japan, on the Netflix one. And of course, you got the details that we mentioned right there. Also, I think the guns look a little different as well. Maybe mine has a bit of a defect right there. That's easy to fix, so. Yeah, the guns are a little bit different. They're a different color almost. My camera would want to stay in focus. It'd be great, but it does not want to. And also on the face, we got silver eyes for Ravage on this side for the Netflix version, and for Siege we got some red optics right there. And Decepticon symbols are in the same place, other than them looking a little bit different. Looks pretty much the same, and everything else is pretty much the same on these guys as well. And also, of course, there's some silver bits missing on the back as well. So let's move on to laser beaks. Now there's a lot more difference with laser beaks, of course. Predominantly the faces. The Siege laser beak has more of a G1 face look, while this one have actual. While the Netflix version has actual eyes and looks more like a bird's face, and of course it has the Decepticon symbol right on the forehead right there. Of course, we noted before the wings are a lot more colorful on the Netflix version than on this one, and also the Decepticon symbol is right on the back of the Siege laser beak and not on this one. There's not too much else that is different between these ones either than that. So I definitely think if you guys are going for a more G1 look, I would say it's kind of hard because this Ravage looks more like the G1 and this one's from the Netflix one. This one looks more like a Cybertronian Ravage. While this one looks more like a G1 Laserbeak and this one looks more like a Cybertronian Laserbeak. So it's almost like these two would fit more together, like that, if we switch those two around. But I'd say probably, maybe not. No, shoot, what does Laserbeak look like? I'm trying to think. Well, either way, I'd definitely say that you could get either one of these. Maybe pick up these ones because you'll get Soundwave this one. I'm talking about these ones. And because these ones come just in a 2-pack and basically just make them more expensive because they're more notable. They're more notable, so you can make them more expensive. While these ones are a bit more detailed and you get them with Soundwave over here. So, speaking of Soundwave, let's look at his alt mode. So here we have Soundwave right here, and of course, I really like him. He's a bit bulky on the back to be a cassette player, but other than that, he is pretty well done. Because if you look at the front, he is pretty proportional to cassette players. Other than this being too small to actually hold any real cassettes. That's really the only thing. Now that would be cool. Have a cassette player. Like, it looks like Soundwave, and I don't know if you want to go all the way and make it transform, but it actually holds actual cassettes. No one would buy that nowadays other than like adults, but that would be a good idea. Wonder if they ever done that. Well, I gotta do research. And of course, he looks really, really nice, by the way. Like, I have no complaints here, other than some of the transformations. But of course, as I said before, this toy is used, so I'll probably have to do some touching up on him and stuff like that. Get rid of some scratches and get rid of some dents and stuff like that. But of course, we have his button right here to release that. So I don't think I mentioned, but he does have a cassette indent inside his little chest cavity right there. And of course, also you just slide them in right there like you would an actual cassette player. And come on, did I put it in wrong? Yeah, that's there. It's supposed to be flipped the other way? That would look weird. Then all you see is because Ravage just flipped the other way. But yeah, you just fit them right in there, and then did I get him stuck? Okay, so let's see here. Okay. And let me see something real quick. I'll be back. I figured out what was wrong. I was putting a Laserbeak in like this, where you need to put her in like this. Like, let's put her in that. Put her in the butt first. Put in the butt first, not the head. There you go. But yeah, of course, you can put them in just like that, and there you go. And actually, I don't know, because he looks so much better without the cassettes in there, but also you want to put the cassettes in there just because it has that function. But I definitely say it would probably look more aesthetically pleasing with like Rumble in there, just because Rumble is blue and purple. But I don't know, something that I just thought about. But yeah, but of course, he has little details. He has the right and left buttons right here. He has the fast forward, reverse. He has the play button. Got some pause buttons down here. And, it says record and bait right there. Batteries. And the only problem with this alt mode is that it looks really clean up front. Like you say, like, yep, that'd definitely be a cassette player. But then on the back, it gets a little all messed up. Like, you can tell that's a toy, not a cassette player. If you had them like this, obviously a cassette player. Have them like this, obviously a robot. But yeah, but this is definitely one of the best Transformer toys that I've seen from this line. Because there's a bunch of them where it's like they just have little tiny problems. Like with the cars, you have the problem of their underbelly scratching the ground. And especially with the Femme Transformers as well. Like, I just want a good Femme Transformer. I just want one. Chromia was good, so I guess I do have one. But like RC and Alita 1, oh my gosh. Woo. And some of the Decepticons have problems with like their transformation sequences in general just being a little bit too complicated. Maybe I'm just dumb, but some of them have just like really complicated alt modes and you just kind of have to squish them together. But yeah, Soundwave was very easy to transform along with Laserbeak and Ravage. He has a bunch of cool weapons that you can play with. And of course he has the button that I've been playing with all day. Yes, I've been playing with Soundwave's buttons. Anyways. But yeah, I definitely say if you are looking for a good Decepticon to pick up, definitely pick up Soundwave here because he will not disappoint you. Just like he wouldn't disappoint Megatron. So, I would say he would get 9 out of 10 9 out of 10 Decepticon symbols. Because he is really, really good. But there's just slight things, like just a minimal thing that most people can look over that are there that wouldn't get him a 10 out of 10. So, yeah, I guess that is all.